So this is it, the final 3 races from Mansfield of the 2014 Toyota Racing Series. I'm Jonathan Green.
And I'm Natasha Masterson, and this series has really come down to the last 3 races to see who's going to win it all.
Yeah, at the moment, Andrew Tang of Singapore leads the way, but he's only got a 7-point lead over Jan Mardenborough of Great Britain.
That's right, and Russia's Yegor Orodzev sits in 3rd right now, but don't forget about Kiwi Damon Leach, who has the pressure of keeping the New Zealand winning streak alive with Martin Rump on his tail.
That's right, 17-year-old Martin Rump of Estonia is right there, and the man on form, having won last time out at Hampton Downs. It's all to play for in the last 3 races of the Toyota Racing Series for 2014.
The 2014 will mark the 59th New Zealand Grand Prix, a race with a rich history. Since 1950, drivers from 9 countries have won the title. And in 2014, a special celebration of the career of 2-time winner and Toyota ambassador, Chris Amon.
We had the advantage in those days in that the Tasman series as such, which was 4 races in New Zealand, 4 in Australia, we were getting Formula One drivers out here to do those races. And of course the advantage of that was with people like me that were starting out and really there to make up the numbers on the grid. But you had the chance, if you shone a bit, of being noticed. We went through a period really after my day where there was very little chance of any New Zealander getting into Formula One, and the TRS, the Toyota series, has changed it all.
The championship looks like this. Singapore's Andrew Tang leads the way with 670 points. He's just 7 points clear of Britain's Jan Mardenborough on 663. Then it's the Russian Yegor Orodzev, 17 points adrift for M2 competition. Then the local man, Damon Leach, ahead of Martin Rump, the earlier championship leader. Then Monroe, Stein-Shatorst is 7th, Izaki in 8th, Corniff in 9th, and Jordan Oon rounds out the top 10. Let's look at the Mansfield Autocourse as it hosts its 11th New Zealand Grand Prix. Across the start-finish, it's flat out in 6th up to 230 Ks before dropping down the gearbox to 2nd for turn 1. Good overtaking on the inside. As you drift wide, it's important to get out smoothly. Then it's brutally back up to 5th gear before braking for splash. Crucial to brake in a straight line here and not miss the braking point as you go from 190 to 112 K for the left-right. The hairpin is 2nd gear, the slowest corner at just 76 kilometers, with a great opportunity to pass on the inside. The exit is important again as it's another long straight next up to 5th gear again for the run to Higgins. Over 200 kilometers to the end of the straight before braking down to 3rd gear. And this is the best place to overtake on the track, and the exit is forgiving as it's steeply cambered. Back up to 6th gear on the back straight, reaching over 230 Ks on the run down to Pepsi. Brake and turn in early as the apex is late. Get back on the power early, letting the car drift wide. Smooth here will get you the best possible run down to the finish line. Rain on Saturday brought new drama for qualifying. All the drivers were quick to get on track and post times as insurance if the conditions worsened. On lap 3, Nick Cassidy showed he'd lost no speed in the off-season with a fastest time of 1 minute 10.012. A lap later, his teammate Andrew Tang closed with a 1 minute 10.7, but then Stein-Shatorst, who'd been 5th fastest, went off track and out came the red. Giles Motorsport made tyre pressure and suspension changes to Jan Mardenborough's car. Cassidy lowered his time again, followed closely by Tang, and Ryan Tavita 3rd fastest as the rain increased. Another red flag meant there was just 1 flying lap at the restart, and while the leaders didn't change, Jan Mardenborough drove an outstanding lap to sneak into 3rd place on the grid. Q2 would decide the Grand Prix grid. All the teams made suspension and tyre pressure changes in the pits as the conditions cleared. Some even had slicks on standby, but it was wet on track as Tang this time took the early lead with a 1 minute 10.42. Ahead of teammate Cassidy, a 1 minute 10.49. James Monroe pitted to change tyre pressure. Then Mardenborough was in as well. Tang managed to lower his time by 0.1 before he ran low on fuel and pitted. Cassidy wowed them with a 1 minute 09.9. Tang held 2nd, but again on the last lap, Jan Mardenborough put in the 3rd fastest lap to drop a much improved Ryan Tavita down to 4th spot.
Well, Nick, the first part of the mission achieved.
Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. You know, we've been second 3 years in a row on the grid for the Grand Prix, so to nail that pole is absolutely awesome. I can't thank Northland Toyota, Giltrap Group, Jones Way and BNT enough for making this weekend happen. I'm excited to be on this grid with a full field of international drivers. They've been on it for 4 weeks, but it's a nice feeling to come in and send it to pole.
I think pole was definitely possible in both qualifyings. Red flag stopped me in the first one, and in the second one there were some issues with the car. Hopefully we sorted out before race 1, and yeah.
Did 2 laps, got 2 laps in, and then jumped to third on the last one. And then apparently coming across the line, it went red. Someone went off, and then came in and said, "Oh, you're P3," and then I finished Q2, and I said, "No, we've been demoted to P7 because of the red flag," which is a bit of a kick in the teeth, really.
Well, you were certainly on it. You were right up there at the sort of right towards the sharp end of the times.
Yeah, I feel really comfortable in the wet, and yeah, I just maximized the grip of the tire and just drove, and it all worked out.
Coming up, we meet the Grand Prix contenders in the Neal Motorsport Kiwi Dream Team. And our first feature race of the weekend, the Dan Higgins Memorial.